They forced me to remove my ugly retaining wall, so I let their brand new infinity pool slide right into my backyard. My house sits on a steep slope, just below a ridge that was recently developed into highland views. When I bought my place 20 years ago, the previous owner had built a massive, ugly retaining wall out of old railroad ties and heavy, jagged boulders. It wasn't pretty. It looked like a fortress. But it did one job very well. It held up the hill. The new neighbors up top, the Millers, bought the lot directly above me. They built a mansion that extended almost to the edge of the slope. Then, they decided to put in a pool. The HOA president, who was best friends with the Millers, sent me a letter. Violation notice. Unsightly barrier. The railroad ties and boulders do not adhere to the community's visual standards. Remove immediately or face fines of $500 a day. I wrote back immediately, I am not in your HOA, and that wall is structural. If I move it, the hill moves. They didn't listen. They sued me for nuisance and lowering property values. They claimed the wall encroached 6 inches onto their easement. The judge, clearly annoyed by the petty dispute, ordered me to remove the portion of the wall that touched the property line. I tried to warn them. I brought in a geotechnical report. The HOA lawyer objected, calling it irrelevant scare tactics. The Millers just wanted their perfect view of the valley without looking down at my trashy wall. So I complied, maliciously. I hired a crew. We carefully removed the boulders. We pulled out the railroad ties. I even graded the dirt to look nice and smooth, exactly as they requested. I took photos, sent them to the judge to prove compliance, and then I waited. It didn't take long. Spring rains came 2 weeks later. I was sitting on my back porch when I heard a sound like a zipper tearing open, but loud like the earth was groaning. I looked up at the slope. The dirt where the wall used to be began to slump. Small cracks turned into fissures. Then came the crunch. The Millers' backyard, no longer supported by my ugly wall, gave way. The soil liquefied. Their pristine patio furniture slid down the hill first, then the pavers, and finally, the crown jewel. Their $100,000 fiberglass infinity pool. The ground beneath the pool washed out. The shell cracked with a sound like a gunshot, sending thousands of gallons of chlorinated water rushing down the mudslides straight past my house, thanks to my own drainage diversion I'd installed just in case, and into the street below. The pool shell itself was left dangling halfway down the cliff, looking like a broken teacup. The Millers came running out, screaming. The HOA president showed up, pale as a ghost. They threatened to sue me for destruction of property, but I was ready. I handed them the court order they had fought for. I did exactly what you asked, I said. I removed the wall. You guys were the ones who built a heavy pool on a slide zone without checking what was holding the dirt up. The insurance companies had a field day. Because the removal was court-ordered at their request, the Millers' insurance refused to pay. The HOA's insurance denied the claim because of negligence. The Millers had to pay out of pocket to stabilize the entire hillsider job that cost 4 times the price of the pool. And the best part? The engineer they hired said the only way to fix it was to install a retaining wall made of heavy boulders and steel ties. It looks exactly like the one I had, only now they had to pay for it.